So this part of this video is done on the webcam from a laptop. The rest of it's better video because I did it from the phone with a wireless mic and also did it with a ring light. So I think it's better viewing. But anyhow, it's going to be a kind of a long video because I'm going to talk about some of the haters that come to our channels that think they have to express their meanness. And I also will explain and respond to the comments of the positive things that people have to say and why I've sold the fifth wheel and just answering questions basically and saying my mind. So bear with me. Hope you can handle it. Thank you so much. Like I said, it's going to be kind of long, about 35 minutes. You can fast forward it if you want to, but I would appreciate you letting the whole video run. It helps my channel a lot. So please watch the whole video. I have a lot to say. Maybe you'll get bored. If you do, I'm sorry, but this is what it is. Tonight's video is about responding to some comments I've received on YouTube on some of my videos. So what I wanted to share is some people have good intentions. Some people are just haters or negative or whatever. It's not helpful and doesn't help them either because when they're negative comments, it puts them in a bad light. Doesn't change me. I do the best I can. And if you don't like watching what I do, I don't even know why you bother to come. But most of the comments are very positive. So today I'm going to share a few comments from some people that came onto my channel. These are a couple of negatives. When I said I was selling the fifth wheel, some people were not happy. They think they need to put in their 2 cents worth. So this is one comment from Nunya Business, whatever the numbers are. And she said, I have mixed feelings about her selling something that somebody gave her out of the kindness of her heart, of their heart. First of all, it wasn't completely free. The people that brought me this RV wanted to give it to me. They insisted they wanted to give it to me. I told them I don't think so. I couldn't accept a gift like that. I have never asked for anything on my channel. So they back and forth we emailed and they insisted they really wanted to give it to me because they like me. They like who I am, like my honesty, how hard I try, whatever the reasons were. And they know I'm sincere and I don't ask for things. So they wanted to give it to somebody that they thought would appreciate it. But I said, no, I can't accept a gift like that. I was looking for a trailer, a smaller trailer, just something because I would need a little bit more room because the box van was so crowded and cramped. I love my box van, but I do not have enough room for the things I have to carry everywhere I go. Everything I own has to be in the box van. Everything I own. Imagine spending everything you own for your entire life and you have to live on it. You have to have the clothes, the make everything. I'm not going to go into the details about everything I have to have in here. But at the bottom line is there's not very much space. The living space is 6 feet by 9 feet. I have a 1-foot box on the back or area on the back of the van that I use as a garage. And the cab, which I have stuffed with batteries for my solar panels and more storage containers and my laundry basket and my power station and my fans, the dog food, the stools, the covers for the wheels, the covers for everything. So it's just no room in here. for extra stuff. So only thing I could do is pile everything in the truck every time I moved every 2 weeks. Everything I own from outside, we're in the elements or in a little tent or something, and then pile it all in. A lot of work, and then I can't move in here. It was hard. It was hard. So today I have a storage unit. So I can put everything I don't need all the time in the storage unit. And then when I do need it, I can go and get it or put things back and forth from the storage unit to the box van. But I didn't have that at that time. There were none available for the price I could afford at that time. So I was living in the RV park in my box van. They have a little shed, like 5 by 6 feet or something, not hardly, barely tall enough to stand in. It has leaks and is very flimsy and doesn't hold anything. So, but if so, at least I had that much storage room. But before that, I had no storage place. Everything I had to go with me, no matter even if I just had to go to the store, because you can't leave things in a camping area on BLM land and pray that nobody wants to take it. They will, believe me. So I haven't had too many problems if I'm camping with people, but when you're camping alone, which I did most of the time, it was not very safe. So I wanted to get a little trailer, and also because I thought it was going blind, I needed the space in the RV park. So when I thought it was going blind, I knew I would not be completely alone. So anyhow, I already have the space, so they wanted to give me this fifth wheel. Not this, but the fifth wheel I had. So the fifth wheel is sold. Anyhow, I said the only way I would accept it is because I had been saving as much as I could every month, every single month, from my YouTube money, and which I don't make a lot. I'll explain that too. But and every dime I didn't spend on absolute necessities, I said I've been saving money. So I had, I don't know, I think 13, 12 or $1,300 I was saving, trying to get up enough that I could spend whatever I could for a little trailer, used trailer. So they said, no, we want to give this to you. They said, we don't have room for it. We need the space that it's parked in. They had a little, I'm trying to think of what it's called, but like a storage unit without a door. So they had it parked in there for 15 years. They bought this new. And it sat for 15 years, but it wasn't completely enclosed. It was covered. So it sat in the elements, basically in the heat, the dust, the dirt, everything that gets up in things. When I got it, I still saw, they cleaned it thoroughly, but I still found mouse droppings throughout the RV and the basement area of the fifth wheel. When I got it, the black tank the lever would not pull open. So I couldn't even dump the black tank. So I had to repair that. Okay. So anyhow, I think they may forgot to empty it the last time they used it. I don't know, but it was plugged up. It was completely clogged. So I tried to find repairmen to work on things when they went wrong. Anyhow, they did agree to take what I had. It wasn't much, probably 1/3 of what it was worth at that time. But at least they took something, and I gave them everything I had, every dime I had saved. Believe me, it's not easy when you're trying to live on $1,000 a month and trying to save money to buy something. It's been a struggle, but I did it. I did the best I could. So I finally agreed to take it only if they would take the money I had saved. They did. They brought it to me with new tires. They did they were so generous. Everything they brought it with dishes and stuff. I ended up giving all the dishes and stuff to somebody because I already had what I need for dishes and stuff. Everything was in the box pan. I put it in there. I kept a few things that they left. They left bedding. They left towels and all kinds of stuff. You wouldn't believe it. The RV was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Looked perfect on the inside. Looks perfect on the outside. The awning had never been used, I don't think. Maybe once or twice. I don't know. I doubt that. They had only used it 4 or 5 times in the whole time they had it. So all that time was stored. Let me tell you about RVs that sit for a while. RVs that sit for a while do deteriorate. So didn't look like it's deteriorating, but I found things that were happening to it because it had sit for a long time. They didn't know there was anything wrong with it. They had no clue. And at first, I didn't want to tell them anything that was wrong with it, but I did eventually. I was open with them and told them the things that didn't work and when I had to fix things. So I had the RV for about a year. So I kept the box van so I could still travel and go camping when I wanted to. So this is gonna kind of be a long video, people, because I need to answer to these people that have a problem with me selling the RV. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So maybe before I do that, let me tell you what I've done. Okay, in the year I spent in the RV, I calculated my expenses for repairs only was very close to $4,000 in repairs. The air conditioner would not cool the RV. It was blowing out hot air. So I took a long time. There's no repairmen around here. The only time I have help around here is during this winter season when the snowbirds are here. And I don't know that many people that repair things. So a few people have volunteered to help me when they are here. But when you need it, they're not here. Let's say that. So I called around everywhere within 75, 100-mile radius to find somebody to come out and check on my air conditioner. Okay. I finally got a repairman. They came out and looked at it and they said, it's no good. We can't repair it. We can't even order the part for that old air conditioner. They don't have the parts. And even if you do it, if you did, it would cost more as much in parts and time, labor, that might as well buy a new air conditioner because they couldn't fix it. So I ended up spending almost $2,000 for a 13.5 BTU air conditioner. They didn't install it. It still didn't cool the RV. I couldn't figure out what the problem is. Well, they said, well, it's the RV is not insulated. Well, they had insulation in the ceiling, but was like is popcorn styrofoam, little popcorn balls that are all broken up in the ceiling. I'm sure they didn't have any insulation in the walls. The RVs are not made to live in. They're made to travel in for periods of time, but they don't expect people to live in it in high heat or extreme colds. So they really don't go through and insulate them, especially back then. It's been what, almost 17 years or something. Anyhow, so back then they didn't insulate these RVs. They didn't plan on people living in them. So there's no insulation. So the air conditioning man said, there's no insulation in here and you need to cover all your vents and all your windows with reflectix. And that's still not going to do it. But because one air conditioner is not enough for this size RV, it's 30 feet long. It's huge. It has very tall ceilings. I couldn't even reach the vent overhead on a step stool. That's everything is tall. Okay. So anyhow, I had to replace the air conditioner, almost $2,000. Then I had problems with the heater. The heater in the winter, it worked at first, and then it started acting up, and it quit working. So I found a mobile mechanic would come out and check out the heater. They told me the control panel was no good. So they didn't actually replace it with a new. I didn't realize at the time. They put a used control panel in there, and they charged me probably over $300 by the time they were done. They wanted charging me more. They wanted me to purchase a whole new heater system. I said, I can't afford that. This is what I can afford, and you can do it for that price. Fix it. If you can't, don't. So anyhow, they got it working with the new controller. Later, it quit working again. So I had some friends that came down for the winter this year. They checked it out, and they had to pull it all the way out of the RV from the inside because there's no big a door on the outside to get to it. So we had to pull that out from the inside. They took it completely down to pretty much, I don't know, whatever they did, they completely took it down. They cleaned it out. They did all that stuff. There was an old rat's nest in there at one point, and the fan was making a crazy, crazy noise, and it's running really hard, and it was using tons and tons of propane because I think it was working so hard. What we found out is the fan was beating up against something in there, the tubing or whatever, and it was happened to work too hard. So they had to fix the fan, and they completely cleaned it out and pretty much redid the whole heater system. And then we got it all back in, and then so I got that done, and then the black tank was clogged. So it was something was in there. It would prevent the me to pull out the black tank valve to open the chute to let the stuff come out. I couldn't figure that out. So I spent a ton of money on stuff to fix all that, clean out the system. Um, so I had to do that. And then the air conditioner, even after I got the new one, it kept, what happened is, before I got the new one, couldn't figure out why it kept popping the breaker. And it constantly was popping the breaker when it did work. And found out it burned up all the wiring, all the way from the RV to the main box. The box, the socket that the RV plugs into on the box, main control box outside, burned up, as well as the cord. So I had to replace all that, everything on that. And then even after they put the new one in, it continued to pop the breaker. I don't know, the amperage on an RV is usually 30 amps, but the air conditioner was drawing too much amperage with anything else going on. So I had another person come over and work on it and put in a new separate breaker just for the air conditioner. So I had that done. And so I had to replace all the wiring, fix the breaker. I had to get in there, fix the black tank, had to do the new air conditioner, had to fix the heater. So other thing that happened is when they did fix the air conditioner and finally got that all taken care of, then they told me I needed to put reflectors in all the windows. The problem is that I had to climb behind the furniture. The windows are behind the furniture, and the furniture is bolted to the floor. You can't move the furniture. So I had to get up there and try to squeeze behind there to pull the window coverings up. They're on strings. 15 years of sitting, the strings get weak and brittle, and they kind of disintegrate pretty much. So every time I went to open a window blind, the strings broke, and the cording pleating on the window coverings was getting all wonky, and I even end up I couldn't get behind them to put the reflectors in, and they kept breaking, so I had to make brand new curtains from scratch because I checked around. The prices for having RV custom made, because there are 15 windows in the RV, 15 windows. To replace those all would cost me a fortune. And it would, each one had to be custom made because they're very long windows and very wide windows, huge windows, all the way around the entire RV. So I ended up buying the reflectors, put it in all the windows, bought material to do the curtains, and I made them myself on my sewing machine. At least I could do that inside there because there was plenty of room inside the RV. Can't sew in the box truck, that's for sure. Anyhow, so I got those done. I'm trying to think of some of the other little repairs, little things. The propane tanks, they had one on each side of the RV, but they only had one hooked up. So I couldn't use the other side. I would have to lift the other side. The propane tanks are very, very heavy. I would have to lift them out and take them to get it filled or have somebody come and fill them. They charge you to come out and fill your propane tank. So I would have to do that every few days because it was using so much propane. So I finally bought 100-pound or whatever, 30-gallon propane tank, which was also expensive. I didn't include that in the cost of expense that I do. So I wouldn't have to change it every less than a week. It was costing me $160 every month for propane alone during the winter for the heater. And the only thing else that ran on the propane is the water heater and the kitchen stove, which didn't use that much, but the heater used a ton. And on top of that, all the electric bill every month. So anyhow, overall, everything I spent, I added up, was about almost $4,000 just for the repairs. Yes. So anyhow, was way out of my range. I make $1,000 a month, anywhere from $200 to $400 a month on YouTube. I did the best I could. I work harder on my YouTube channel, very hard. I spent hours and hours, much harder than I ever worked on a regular job when I could work in back in the day when I could work. So I worked tons. Nobody has any idea unless they have a YouTube channel how much work it is to keep it going and do everything you need to do. So anyhow, so here's some of the comments I received. So I guess I'd share the first one. She said, "This is Nunya Business said, I have mixed feelings about her selling something that somebody gave her out of the kindness of their heart. So I already explained it wasn't not entirely a gift. They wanted to give it to me entirely as a gift, but I paid everything I had towards it. And I knew this would come up. I never want anybody to think I take advantage of somebody. Never do. So I always want to do what I can. Anyhow, the next comment is from user SF something. Said, since the camper was gifted to you, why not pay it forward and gift it to someone else in need? Maybe Bob Wells from Howard could help. Just a thought. Well, sure I could forward it, but I have everything I have and everything I could do all the last 2 years between the purchase and the repairs. Every dime I made on YouTube, every dime I got from Social Security, except the absolute necessities of life, I spent on the RV. So I need to have something to fall back on. So if I give it to somebody, yes, I could do that. But if I did that, I have nothing to fall back on. So they didn't want to give it to somebody else. They wanted me to have the benefits of it. So that's why I didn't just pay it forward, as you say. And then they're going to come back on me and say, oh, well, you should have done this or done that to the RV, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to deal with it. So, anyhow, so here's another subscriber. Terry 4265 says, well, that is a surprise. I have to ask, why would you move back in the box truck and leave such a beautiful life in the camper? Good luck. That was snarky. Here's another one. Sunflower Girl RV. She says, wasn't this given to you? And then she said another comment, why are you selling it? So not all the comments I received. I received tons and tons of very positive comments. And I was trying to find one comment that said something snarky, and one of my subscribers responded to them that you don't know my circumstances. You don't know what. Of course I knew that I was gonna pay more in utilities, but I didn't know how much. I didn't expect it to be so crazy anyhow. So here's a positive comment. Crazy lady says, so many think that they know what is best for others, and somewhere we lost the respect for our elders. And somewhere, let's see, we have forgotten to hear what they say and to be quiet when they say it. We ignore their wishes and wants and demand that they do as we say. At 70, I remember some of the days when there was a respect. I shake my head at so many, many things and wish that I had listened more. Thank you for the update and for sharing. Sometimes we must do what we must do. You, the best of everything. Here's another positive comment. I can't share them all, just gonna share a couple. Well, this is Bell 7008. She said, whatever works for you is the most important thing. Keep the negativity to yourselves. Every one of us has a habit or vice. Basically, don't throw stones at glass houses. That was a comment on another video that I shared, mentioning my smoking situation. So she's right. Those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Here's another one from RV Rebel Girl. She said, hi Dee, you do what you need to do to make your life work for you. Nobody has the right to tell someone how to live unless they're supporting them, as in with the miners. Glad you had a good time with subs and were able to get out of Dodge for a bit. Always in your corner. Peace. So those are just a few. I have, like I said, I get tons of comments on my videos. I always try to respond to them, especially if they're sincere or they ask a question. Most of the time, I've already answered their questions in the biz. So if you really have a question, go back and watch some of my older videos a few months back about a subject that you're talking about. Usually, I've mentioned it several times on my videos, but I will answer if I can. So here's what I will say. When I decided I could not continue to live like I was in the RV, I was stressed, so stressed that I had to call them and let them know what I'm doing. I said, please, I want you to come and get it and take it back and find somebody else to sell it to or give it to that deserves it, but maybe more than me. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. We wanted you to have it. If you can't have it, then you do what you have to do. I said, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to sell it. I was brokenhearted to even have to tell them that. They said, well, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. I said, if I sell, I would like to send you the money I get for it. No, you use that for you. That's what we wanted. They said, it was a gift. It's yours. The title is in your name. You do what you want with the money. We won't take the money back. So they said, they didn't tell me to give it to somebody else. So uh, I needed the money, obviously, but I never asked anybody for anything. Um, Never asked anybody for anything on my channel. I try to do everything myself. I don't even ask for help very often, unless it's absolute necessity. Physically, something I can't do, I might ask somebody, but I never ask for money. I never ask for things. If people say, see, I mention, sometimes I say on my video, oh, well, I'm thinking I need to get this, blah, 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 whatever it was. I mentioned it not because I want people to buy me things, but I mention it. Some people take it and say, "Oh, I'm going to get that for her." Then they send me that something that I may have already gotten by the time they see the video, or something that's not even close to what I asked for. So, but it's love. They love me. They want to do that for me. I appreciate all the gifts I get. I can't have everything they send me. I have a very small space now. I don't have room for a lot of things. That's why I have my PayPal link in there. If I need something and if they want to help me, they send me a little money. Not much, but every few people send me very nice gifts. And when I get them, I buy the things I need that I do have room for. But, you know, what can I say? People have been very, very generous, but please don't ever think I would ask for anything. I'm not an e-beggar. I'm not a user. I'm honest. I'm sincere. And when I can't use something, somebody send me something, I don't have room for it, I do the best I can to show my appreciation, and I try to use it. If I can't, I end up giving to somebody that does need it. I pay it forward. Everything I have that I can use, I give away. Only thing I've sold is my generator and my trailer, and I paid for that. So, you know, but I want to help people as much as they've helped me. I appreciate that. But I never want you to think I'm needy. I'm not needy. I can take care of myself. I do pretty good when you think I live on $1,000 a month and the cut $200 to $400 a month on YouTube that I work for. I earn it, believe me. So, to people that have positive comments and encourage me, I appreciate you so much. That's what makes me keep doing this, because they tell me I'm inspiring to them. They learn things from me. They appreciate my honesty. That's who I am. But those haters that want to cause trouble, they're not doing themselves or me of any favors. They don't have to come to the channel. They don't have to watch my videos. Why do they bother if you don't like what you see? Yeah. Anyhow, that's what I have to say about all this tonight. So yes, the RV is sold. Yes, I'm back in the box van. I do have storage outside of the box van when I need to move things around back and forth. I'm staying in the RV park. I pay it by the year. Then every time I want to get in the truck and drive away for a while, I can do that anytime I want. And now, because I don't have the high expenses, I can afford a little bit for gasoline. The prices of the food has tripled. The prices of gas has at least doubled um, over the last few years. Everything, the materials, wood, everything you buy to fix things costs at least double as much as it before. We all have to deal with inflation. You all have to have noticed increases in everything. They get you coming and going, and they send a package that used to be 8 ounces and now 4 ounces, and they charge you double what you used to pay for twice as much. So that's the world today, and I'm not happy about it, but I have it kind of had to accept it. don't have a choice. Neither do you. But a lot of people have enough money, they don't notice it too much. They think, no, what's changed? Hello? Wake up. Come back to this real world. Okay, I've rambled on enough, I think. But I did want to kind of address those comments and let you know, haters, nobody wants to hear it. Come and say something nice or don't say anything at all. Or if you really want to be negative, don't bother coming to my channel because I will block you after a while. I'll put up with a little bit if I think they're trying to be sincere or just stating their mind, but they're rude and obnoxious and hateful. I will say goodbye to you and you won't come back. So anyhow, there's what I have to say. Also, check out the description below the video for other information. And if you want to support the channel or become a member or whatever, I appreciate all your support. Also, hit the thumb. That helps. Analytics that YouTube will push the video out. And if you want to know when I put out another video, when you subscribe, hit the notifications bell and hit all. You'll get notifications, hopefully, from YouTube telling you when another video is coming